Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to another episode of Article Reactions. Some of the articles will be informative, some will be shocking, and some may just make you shake your head. We will be starting shortly. You do have the opportunity to financially support the channel in order to help it grow. So, in the very least of that manner, please like, share, and subscribe. Join Char Willie and Classic Ruby for their radio show, Keep the Beat. They broadcast every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on CRBJ, Classic R&B Jams. There are discussions of the songs, and that can take you back down memory lane. If you missed the live broadcast, no worries. Replays are uploaded on Mixcloud. So, follow JustAskChar Advice channel on Mixcloud, and you will receive the notification when these broadcasts are uploaded. So, thank you everyone for joining the show. We are about to get started.
Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome back, everyone. How are you this Saturday? Hope you're doing good. You know, it's just a little bit darker than it was yesterday. I don't know. I'm not enjoying this. It's just upsetting. I understand it's called fall, but still, where did the time go? Emmanuel, you're listening to DJ Point Man. He's the one that has a groove that you can use. The man really gives you a groove too, I tell you. He will be, actually he's spinning in about a half hour, and I'll be going over there after this show and support him over on the radio station there, Classic R&B Jams. Oh boy, he be jamming on the one, I tell you. Some good old R&B. We don't have that like we used to. I don't know what happened. But yeah, that's who you were listening to. Only thing I have for you guys today is to tell you Groupon is giving out, well, depends on the state. I always have to be certain to say that. There is a online exercise club called Daily Burn, and they are giving Groupon decided to say, hey, we'll sponsor them, and they have 60-day membership for free. It's normally $15 a month, and I saw it in my feed. I said, let me tell people about it because you guys may, be able to get it in your city. So I'm like, okay, I'll pass that information along because I like that free. Ain't nothing wrong with free. Let's see what else I got for you. I'll just put it in the chat because it is too long for me to put the link in here, but it's called Daily Burn. And I'll just put a slash in Groupon so you can check, see if you can find it. Also, it is National Pancake Day. So happy National Pancake Day to you. I did celebrate with 2 pancakes today. Yes, I did. Probably been better if I didn't eat any, but I wanted some pancakes. I couldn't help myself. So I did enjoy that. And the last thing I want to tell you guys is to be aware of the scams that's going on with COVID-19 because they are ramping up now. Phone calls, people knocking on your doors, all kind of stuff. Even they got the emails going on. They got sites up. They really are trying to get your personal information. I've already mentioned to you about the scams they have, that you get those calls. PayPal, I don't know what's going on with that, but they're enjoying trying to get people on PayPal, and especially um, iTunes. Well, it's iTunes or Apple. I think I'll just call it Apple. They really trying to get you there. They got their little Apple sign talking about some, you need to contact us right away. Click this link because your information is at risk. And I'm like, oh, no, no, really? Well, I tell you what, I'm not clicking on that link and let it continue to be at risk. You can listen to all the songs that I have downloaded. I'll share with you. No problem. And that's how I handle that. But yeah, do be aware about clicking on stuff when you answer the phone, and just be sure not to say the word yes, yes. Um, that's another thing that's going on. So beware, people. Beware, my sisters and brothers out there. Please beware. Now, without further ado, my introductions are over. I will introduce to you the classic Ruby, everyone.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome on stage.
Woo!
I thought you were gonna go Class Ruby, everybody. Class Ruby. I'm telling you, I love that. It's like my favorite one that you do. Class Ruby, everybody. Class Ruby.
I'm sorry I switch up every now and again. I'm sorry.
I know, one of those people. I don't like change. I reject change. I remember when I was a kid, and like for probably not that long, right? But for children, every moment is forever. So I was about 7 or 8 years old, and at least for the last year or two, my mom had the exact same hairstyles, kind of like these thinner bangs that go down to your eyebrows, and then your hair's kind of a little bit PC. It's permed, right? PC, and like maybe up to like a shoulder, kind of not a bob, but like shoulder length. Kind of like, I think Whitney might have had that hairstyle at some point. I don't know. But that was my mom. Like, and that hairstyle was part of who she was. Right. And then one day she came home and her hair was completely different. It was short. It was flat, trying to keep up with the mid 90s. And I cried. And I'm like, you're not my mom anymore. My mom has this hairstyle. You're not her. I was really upset. And then for years, I petitioned for her to change her hair back. Because for me, my prototype of mom included this hair. And that's what it was. How dare you traumatize me? That's how much I don't like change. So.
Okay.
I know, right? 36 years old, still have not gotten over it. But we're working on it. We will work on it together. So.
All right. I am so glad.
Right? Yeah, there's always room for growth in your life. You just gotta try.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, that's it.
I'll reach out, take your hand, and we will try together. Okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I have a few things, and one, well, like I've told people, sometimes when it's a story, I don't look at the actual story per se. I'll look at something that's in the story and point that out. So that's what I'm going to do for this one.
Ooh, okay.
So I'll get started. I may fumble around a little bit, but I'll try to get my thought out as best as I can.
Sounds good. I think we all know it'll be worth the wait. So it's going to be good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much for the trust.
Oh, you are very welcome, ma'am. You are very welcome. We got you.
Thank you. All right. Now, this is a comedian. I have no idea about him. I haven't heard of him. I may have seen his face before. I really couldn't say. But he's a comedian. And according to this, I know he's been around since 1999. So that's a long time. Now, he's being sued by the husband of the woman that claimed that he raped her. Why? Something's wrong with the dude. That's all I can tell you. Something wrong with the husband. And I'll give a little backstory here. Bryan Callen is suing the husband of a woman who claimed that he raped her, arguing that the husband is out to destroy his career. So kudos to him, because I think people that are accused of things found not guilty need to sue the person that's lying on them, because it does affect their life. Okay. This is a 53-year-old comedian, and he is suing Gabrielle Tigerman, the husband of Catherine Tigerman, who accused Callen of raping her in 1999, according to the complaint. Callen filed a complaint in Los Angeles Superior Court on Wednesday, alleging that Gabrielle has created an ongoing campaign to destroy his livelihood via threats, harassment, and intimidation of third parties that dare contact him. Now, the guy travels because, again, he's a comedian. So he travels around, and every time he well, not every time, but a lot of places that he's gone to, they have canceled because the husband of the accused would call, hey, you know that dude, y'all gonna have this guy, you know what he's done, you know what he's accused of. So a lot of people have canceled. So, of course, that's affecting his money. Now, a lot of people have not canceled because they do know what's going on, but just think about it. If they don't really know more about, a lot about you, they're like, this is too much for us. We don't want this type of attention. So, hey, let's just make it go away. So they cancel the booking.
Mm-hmm.
So the husband, this is what I really wanted to point out. I don't know what's going on with the husband. I would really love to know, is he not working or what? Because he's been taking too much time to follow around this dude. And the wife is gone. The wife have left the husband. Like, I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
So there's something going on. I don't know what it is, but that's what I would like to know.
Right.
That's what I want to know. And that's what I'm pointing out. Thank you.
I mean, see, here's my issue, right? And I hear what you're saying when, I do think there needs to be some repercussions for liars. The catch-22 is just because someone is found not guilty by a court of law doesn't necessarily mean that they've been accused falsely. And just because someone's found guilty doesn't mean that they're actually guilty.
True.
And this is one of those messy things where I feel like if they were to change those laws, it's going to benefit the rich white rapist, and it's not going to protect the innocent. So, I do think now, and here's the thing, this is why, unfortunately, it's almost like civil cases are dismissed as really anything. But, this is what a lot of people have no choice but to do when they are innocent, right? Because a court of law never says you're innocent. They say you're guilty or not guilty. They might vacate charges against you and whatever, but they never say you are innocent. Never. So you were never proven innocent. So once an accusation hits you, that stain of you might be guilty of this never goes away. There is no real presumption of innocence. You're tried by the media, and that's it. It's a blemish that you can never get rid of. And when it's something like rape, and so like I totally get why you'd want to sue if you are innocent. If there's enough evidence, right, then you bring the civil suit, and at least somewhere in some type of court, you're kind of vindicated. But I mean, what do you really get? Like, even if he wins this case, right, like, that's not going to change anything for him. It's not going to change people looking at him like a rapist in the street. I mean, God, you look at what happened with Kobe. You know what I mean? The accusation was a lifetime ago, it feels like. So much evidence proving like, that accusation doesn't seem like it's on the up and up. And, the man dies, and look, well, what's still being brought up? decades later, right? I mean, it never goes away once it happens. So, you're going to sue, you might, maybe you win, but I don't know. I get why you'd want to do it. I feel bad because it's just like, I don't feel like it's going to get you anywhere at the end of the day.
Yeah. A lot of times it don't.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well.
That's a sad thing about it. Oh, boy. Well, I mean, sometimes, and this the idea of being sad, and what do people do when they're sad? They feel despondent about life. Hey, maybe they do some drugs, whatever. They might end up overdosing. We know lots of things people can overdose on, right? I mean, most of us can name all kinds of stuff you could overdose on: OxyContin or morphine or whatever. Well, have I got some information for y'all?
Oh, okay.
Yes, I do. You can also overdose, that's right, on black licorice. Black licorice.
What?
I know, right? The things you can learn from the news. So yes, it is true, ladies and gentlemen. When your parents told you eating too much candy is going to kill you, they were not crazy. Now, a Massachusetts man has died after eating too much black licorice. He's a 54-year-old construction worker, and his heart stopped working after he ate a bag and a half for just a few weeks. Now, this unusual case, which occurred in 2019, was published in the New England Journal of Medicine on Wednesday. So even a small amount of licorice you eat can increase your blood pressure a little bit, said one of the report's authors, cardiologist Dr. Neil Butala, per AP. The FDA warns anyone over 40 eating 2 ounces of black licorice a day for at least 2 weeks can end up in the hospital with an irregular heart rhythm or worse. So the reason why is because black licorice contains the compound.
Oh,
Okay.
that word.
Yeah, no, it's one of those words. It's not. I swear to God, it's not my fault. Look at this word. It doesn't even look like a word. Look at this. What is this?
Better than me. I get stuck after 2 syllables on it. So go ahead.
Look at it. Glycerin. We'll just call it glycerin. If that's how it's pronounced or not, we don't know.
Okay.
So it contains a compound called glycerin. And that's the sweetening compound derived from licorice root. It can cause potassium levels in the body to fall to dangerous levels, which in turn leads to arrhythmia, high blood pressure, swelling, lethargy, and congestive heart failure. And it's not just licorice sticks. Jelly beans, licorice teas, chewing tobaccos, and even some Belgian beers contain this compound. So, according to the report, the man was having lunch at a fast food restaurant when he suddenly started gasping for breath before going into cardiac arrest and losing consciousness. He had reportedly switched over from red fruit licorice, which does not contain glycerin, a few weeks before his death. While the FDA permits foodstuffs to contain 3.1% glycerin acid, Butala says many candies and other licorice products do not display how much is contained per ounce. A spokesperson for Hershey's, which makes the popular Twizzlers licorice sticks that killed this man, assured AP, all our products are safe to eat and formulated in full compliance with FDA regulations, but added all foods, including candy, should be enjoyed in moderation. All right. Now, here's the thing, right? And I mean, I don't know anyone who actually likes black licorice. I think it's disgusting. I always have. It's just, it's not for me, this flavor. I also don't like, I think it's star anise, which is a spice, because that's what it tastes like to me, black licorice, which I think tastes disgusting, right? And I mean, to me, it looks like something you shouldn't eat. Like, I mean, look at it. It looks like tar in sticks. Like, you want to eat tar sticks? And I don't know. Fine. But, some of you weirdos like black licorice. Now, here's the thing. And I think this is the important thing, is there's literally a compound in it, right? It's going to plummet your potassium. So first of all, off the bat, basically what they're saying is you got to be eating a whole bunch of bananas and stuff if you're going to be eating black licorice at all in any concentration, just to try to keep your potassium levels up. But these candy manufacturers, no one is testing this. No one knows if there's 3.1 percent, or 3.1 grams in one of these sticks, but who eats one stick of licorice at a time, right? You're going to eat, half a bag or a bag. You're just sitting there just eating them. And so you're going to get a huge pounds of it. And then the company's just going to go, well, you're supposed to eat candy in moderation.
Right.
Like, yeah, okay, fair enough. You're right. I shouldn't eat a bag of licorice or 3 chocolate bars or whatever at a time. I get it, right? I shouldn't. But you also know what country you're selling this to. You know how we do with candy and stuff, right? You know we all eat irresponsibly. And so you should have some type of warning on the label, especially because, children eat this stuff, children are eating this.
Yeah.
So what if, there were those one-off kids who liked the black licorice. Now, how much of this black licorice could these kids be eating on a daily basis, and suddenly they're going to drop dead of a heart attack because of black licorice? I mean, that's some really scary stuff. So, until they change some labeling and whatever and increase awareness, I would just stay all the way away.
Yeah, I wouldn't touch that either. Thanks, but no thanks.
Right? Canceled. All right.
Yeah. Okay, speaking of cancel, well, it's really not canceled. It's more like missing. So what I'll do, share the screen on that. I don't know what's going on. I want to follow up with it just because I'm nosy. Thousands of CPS students have not attended remote learning. But you're at home. How are they not attending? What's going on?
Right.
I'm confused. They're right there. What happened? Thousands of Chicago public school students have not begun to attend remote classes this fall. Classes began September 9th. That's about, 3 weeks ago? But CPS officials say Wednesday that as many as 6,900 students are still missing from virtual classes. However, another official revised that number later Wednesday, saying it's closer to 2,600 students. CPS employees are now calling and going to homes and handing out flyers in effort to get kids back in class. Now, I don't get why this wasn't done anyway, to say, hey, we're not going to open up the schools because of the pandemic. We don't want, we're going to continue with the social distancing. So this is what we're going to do. We need to know who need devices, who need laptops or tablets, whatever. We need to have a count so we, know how to get our funding together.
Right.
So why wasn't all this done already? I don't get it. I really don't. So I'm going to look into that. I have a friend that works for CPS. I'll see if I can get her to snoop around.
Yeah, I mean, it is that is really weird. And I think to some extent, what ends up happening is because everyone just kind of got pulled out of school. There wasn't really an organized plan. So it's almost like, when like schools go on strike or something, right? Your kids just don't go. They got homework. And they're just chilling at home. And that's about what it is. And then you get into that habit and months went by. So I think a lot of parents are kind of almost confused. Like they're not sure what's supposed to happen or what they're supposed to do next exactly. So they're not doing anything as a result. They might not even be necessarily aware because they're just caught up in trying to keep up with the, day to day and just like, oh yeah, I know, but I didn't want to send my kids to school with the COVID thing. And so, okay, I'll figure out the homeschooling thing later. I think they're doing that. I'll figure out they'll learn it all in time, I guess, or whatever. Right. I think a lot of parents are just unaware, and they're not doing a good job of keeping track of this younger population here.
Right. And that's something that, make me scratch my head because when they were in class, I mean, they had no problem. Signs and everything, back to school, parades and all kind of things. But why don't you use money and contact these people? Because everyone, well, almost everyone have a cell phone. Get that information out there to say, hey, this is what we decided to do. Let's see who needs what, and so they could be prepared. So I don't get it, but I'll ask around.
Yeah, I mean, it would be really good if they figured this out as a collective over here, because can't just have all these children. The entire nation is now being held back. Just overall, in every grade. Why? I don't know. We forgot. we forgot about it. Like that doesn't. We forgot. What? You forgot about your children? Yeah. Yeah. Right? Like
okay. I'll get that one.
Society. Truly. Right?
Tragic.
Aren't you proud of the way society is handling this issue? This whole COVID thing. Aren't you proud of the Western world, the way we really buckled down and handled this? Lord Jesus.
It's terrible. No one has the problem solving skills. I'm sad. They got the pension, but they don't have the problem solving skills. And I'll leave that alone.
Right.
All about that, don't you?
Exactly. Right. Hey, that being said, though, maybe if more people had pensions, they would have more energy and time to focus on what's happening with their children instead of working constantly because they ain't got no pension. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's it.
Think about it. People who have employees. Children are the future. If you want the children to be taken care of, first you got to give the parents a pension. All right. So we figured that one out. All right. Now, here's one I thought was, I don't know. It's just weird to me. I didn't think things like this, I didn't think it was possible. I'll tell y'all the story. You can tell me what you think about it now. Right? So as you see the title, 9-year-old Oklahoma boy killed by carbon monoxide poisoning on the back of an open air boat. I did say that right. Open air boat. Okay. So I read this and I'm like, huh? No, okay, we got to dig into this one. All right. So he was thought to have drowned. Okay. Now, the mother of an Oklahoma boy believed to have drowned has issued a chilling warning after his real cause of death was revealed. 9-year-old Andrew Brady died on June 6th, having fallen into the water after a day of boating with his family. In a Facebook post late last month, his mother, Cassandra Free, revealed he had actually been killed by carbon monoxide poisoning. This is the hardest post I will ever have to write, but this information needs to be shared, she began. She said news reports had claimed her youngest of 3 sons had fallen off the dock and drowned, but she knew from the moment it happened this was not the case. Andrew had grown up on the water and was a very strong swimmer, but had not even struggled after falling in. After an autopsy, doctors found the boy's carbon monoxide levels were 72%. His so-called drowning was secondary to the fact that he would never have lived at that level, his mother wrote. So, I want y'all to think about this. He did technically drown. But at the same time, even though he did technically drown, he never would have drowned had he not had his 72% carbon monoxide level. So basically, he was the walking dead at that point. At that point, he was the walking dead. His eyes were open, he was walking and whatever, but there was no way he could have reasonably done anything. So when he fell into the water, he was still technically breathing, but he might as well have been like sedated like he was under for surgery. So it's a massive number. So now she said Andrew had spent most of the day sat at the back of their open-topped Malibu skier. Boats, even moving, create a backdraft of exhaust, she wrote. Carbon monoxide exits the rear of the boat and drafts right back into the back of the boat. Backseat riders are especially vulnerable at low speeds and in long, no-wake zones like the one we had to cross to return to the docks. Our little Andy, our dude, was probably slowly dying that afternoon/evening, and we didn't know it, she said, adding that any headache or tiredness would have been attributed to too much sun, coupled with a long day of wakeboarding, wake surfing, and tubing. That's what you see here. He's wakeboarding. So early in the day, apparently, this was him wakeboarding around. All right. Andrew, she said, had crawled up onto the back edge of the boat while the family were packing at the dock before he fell unconscious, unaware of his impending death. We had no idea anything unusual was taking place, Cassandra wrote. At that stage, his blood was 72%, or 720,000 parts per million carbon monoxide, and no longer capable of carrying oxygen at all. Had he not fallen over, had he made it into the car, even if he wouldn't have passed at the lake, he would have been so severely brain damaged that he likely would have passed away in his sleep on the way home, she said. Even if he would have gone immediately to the ER at that time, he still would have died. No medicine could have saved him at his levels. There was nothing that could have been done at this point. The distraught mother said the family took a little solace in knowing their son. There was nothing they could have done at the time of his death. He did not suffer. He fell asleep, she wrote. I've been assured that my baby was so far gone that he did not cry out for me in his mind as he died. He went to sleep and that was that. The heartbroken mother issued a warning to all boaters of the risks she says are downplayed or ignored by those in authority. She said that road and air vehicles have to abide by far stricter registration codes and that statistics on open air carbon monoxide poisonings on watercrafts are skewed because fatalities are usually attributed, as her son's almost was, to drowning or heart failure. She claimed boat manufacturers are actually aware of these risks and have addressed the issue on newer models. However, they are under no obligation to retrofit older models or even make people who buy used watercraft aware of the dangers. It may be a 1 in a million chance, but it exists, she wrote. It happens in minutes, sometimes within 60 seconds. Andy, who was smaller than his older brothers, had been moving around the boat less than them on that fateful day. Nevertheless, his older siblings still had to be treated for carbon monoxide poisoning in the hospital the day he died. They could have lost all 3 children that night. So, I mean, you have to think about that. Because originally I was like, you're trying to tell me you have all of y'all on this boat and this one kid, 72% of his body his blood turns to carbon monoxide. Everyone else is just fine. This sounds like a setup. That was the first thing I was thinking. I'm going to be real. The first thing I was thinking is this sounds like a setup. This doesn't sound real. So then I was thinking to myself, oh, okay, I know what happened. So they killed the boy somehow. You know, maybe they killed him like in the garage, put him on the boat, and eventually pushed him off. That's what I was originally thinking. I really was. Because I'm like, how does your blood become saturated with 72% carbon monoxide outside?
Right, outside. That was the whole thing. Yeah.
Right? Like that's you're outside. Like I could not get over that. But then, you know, she was talking about, you know, the backdrafts and this and that. I'm like, all right, you know, I've sat on boats and you can smell the gas, right? Or whatever. Yeah. So I'm like, all right. And you sit in the back, you smell that gas and whatever. Okay. It's a known issue on older boats. They fixed the problem. They just haven't recalled the old ones and they're not going to do anything to try to fix it. And it could actually be a massive issue. However, it gets attributed to drowning, to heart failure. Maybe these people who randomly disappear, you know, they just fall out of the boat, and then years later the body's found, but you don't know what happened. I don't know.
Yeah.
This might have been happening for a long time, because it does happen a lot, and I've actually seen a lot of stories where they go, I don't know what happened. He's a great swimmer. I don't know what
Yeah.
happened. He's in the prime of his youth. He's been running boats since he was a kid. You see those stories, and you're like, well, did he bring someone out and that someone killed him? Or, you know what I mean? You try to figure out, like,
Yeah.
what
Mm-hmm.
happened. It's like, oh, maybe this explains it. And I don't know. I mean, we talk about Karen all the time, and, the all powerful Karen who thinks she should get whatever she wants whenever she wants. Well, hey, this would be a really good time to exert that energy towards getting the facts dug up. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Connecting stories, forcing this issue, forcing boat manufacturers and, who knows what other type of vehicles that they make to fix this issue, because that's terrifying. If you think about how many people are dying of, like, if a 60-year-old man dies and it's cardiac arrest, we just go heart attack. And that's that, because he was outside, or we would never think to ourselves, oh, it must be something carbon monoxide, because carbon monoxide is an indoor issue, right? So
Right.
I don't know. I would be pushing for all of those news stories where someone said, I don't know, he was such a great swimmer and da 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 da, and he's been operating boats for 20 years of his life, and we don't know how that could have possibly happened. I'd be contacting all of those people. I'm getting them to order exhumations, test for carbon monoxide and whatever, because that's the only way you get these conspiracies to come out. Is you start going back and literally digging up bodies. And trying to connect people. They have the same boat as you. They have a similar story as you. Boom, going and do that examination and push, because that's terrifying. That a 9-year-old child is dead because he was sitting on the back of an open air boat. Not because he fell off, hit his head, and drowned. Not because some random pirates drove by and shot him.
Right.
Because of carbon monoxide in the outdoors. It's who knew,
Wow.
right?
Yeah, that is something there.
Just strange. Just strange.
Okay. Well, let me bring up my next one here.
All right.
I closed out because I didn't know I had the, what is that thing called? The slow-mo on. I'm like, what is that on? So I went in to change it, and I got to bring it back up. So.
Okay.
And while doing that, we have DJ Music. Hey, how are you? Welcome. Good
Ooh,
evening.
hey. Aloha.
All right, let's see what we got here.
All right.
Let's see what we have. We have just as bad as Karen. We have some dirty cops. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, and yeah. Notice how they say allegedly. Always allegedly when it's a police officer. What's up with that? There's a
Yep.
picture of the man right there. What's alleged about that? I see you.
Wow.
I see you.
Mm-hmm.
California cop allegedly burglarized home after responding to death of elderly man. Man, they need to stop with that elder allegedly. I'm sick of it. They just stop. I'm just so tired of this. I'm sick of this conversation. Okay. Anyway, let me read what this what I see the man doing.
Right.
A California sheriff deputy has been arrested and placed on administrative leave for allegedly burglarizing a home after responding to the death of an elderly man. Administrative leave. Okay. All right. I'm going to keep on reading. I ain't going to get all upset, but I am. Oh, sorry. Steve Hortz, or however you pronounce his last name, was a 12-year veteran. Ooh, 12 years. Okay. On the Orange County Sheriff Department prior to his arrest on Thursday, the police department said. In late July, Hortz responded to a call in Yorba Linda regarding an elderly man who died from apparent natural causes. On Wednesday, an attorney representing the family estate called the police department to report some items missing from the home and shared home surveillance video that depicted Hortz entering the property at least 3 times and exiting with stolen property, according to the police state.
Wow. Allegedly.
Oh, yeah. It's always allegedly. Yeah, it's always alleged. There he is.
Wow.
There he is. Allegedly. There he is now.
Alleged.
Now, I know it's a little fuzzy, but he's been identified. He has been identified.
Wow.
Look at him. Got a cart and everything.
Damn.
He don't look like no delivery person at night to me.
No, he came prepared.
Oh, yeah. You know he did.
Wow.
In the first instant, which was that first picture, on July 27, Hortz entered while in uniform. He returned on August 10th and August 16th while in civilian clothes. And he stole safes, as you see in the picture there. He got the safe. He stole ceiling fans and other boxes of unknown contents, authorities said. Following an investigation, Hortz was arrested Thursday, placed on leave, and has been booked into the Santa Ana jail on suspicion of burglary. I don't know what the suspicion is all about, but okay, y'all go ahead and use some terms if you want to. There he is. Where's Hortz? There's Hortz. The suspected criminal action of this deputy, are a violation of public trust and are inexcusable and intolerable, Orange County Sheriff Don Barnes said in a statement. This deputy will be held accountable through a swift and thorough process, including a full criminal and internal administrative investigation.
Yeah, allegedly.
Allegedly. Now, I think the only reason why they use those terms is because if you looked at the front of this elderly man house, this man was doing very well. That is a very nice house.
Very.
In California. Oh, yeah. Very nice. Allegedly.
Wow. Allegedly.
Yeah. There he is now, but allegedly. Oh, okay. Let me show you some other BS from these officers, which just happen to be in the same frame here, which is beautiful.
Nice.
Okay, this couple, I know it's a little small, but this couple, they're suing the police because the police came to their hotel room, told them there was a noise complaint. You know, slow it down, turn it down, be cool. That's nice. But the officer got upset because he said, now, allegedly.
Allegedly. Can't forget allegedly.
Right, that the guy had slammed the door in his face. Now, I have traveled a lot, and most of the hotel doors that I know of, they're on some type of little hinge thing, and they don't move like that a lot of times. Now, let's say that this one wasn't, and he slammed it. Well, you react the way you react. You know, maybe you did. Now, the term that I did not know what it meant. Thank you, DJ Music. The officer got upset because the man slammed the door allegedly. So he wanted to do something and get them arrested on a humble. So let's look at a little footage. Hopefully, GMA won't get upset with me. We're about to find out. I'll play a little at a time, just a little bit at a time. Let's see what happens here.
Against the city of San Jose, California, over their treatment. ABC's Zareen Shaw joins us with more. Good morning,
And I wanted to skip past all of that.
A year back on their claims.
San Jose Police.
According to a federal civil rights lawsuit filed against the city of San Jose and the officers involved, it was a police response to a noise complaint that quickly spiraled out of control. In body camera footage obtained exclusively by ABC station KGO, San Jose.
So this is when it first happened. It came to the door, had a little talk with them. Got some noise complaint, you need to slow it down, calm down, turn it down.
Right.
And they're like, what you talking about, man? They could have said that. Young folk having a good old time celebrating their 22nd birthday.
Right.
They're probably like, my music is good. They should enjoy it. Who knows what to say. But anyway, let's play a little bit more.
Cruz and Paya Tukawafu were spending her 22nd birthday. The couple says police told them the hotel would allow them to stay after they turned the music down
following
a noise complaint before 9 p.m.
Do you have any ID on you by any chance? What?
What did ID thing?
Asking for ID.
We got ID everybody that we can come in contact with. Yeah, how we do.
The girl said, that's some bull crap.
Paya asks for
You ain't got ID everybody you come in contact with. Which I need to find out what that is called. Because there's something going on. I don't know what it is. I'm tired of hearing this. Let me get your ID. And we know you're going to run something because too many people have been arrested when they do that. Right. They hold on to the ID. You want to know the name. Why you holding on my ID? Why you pull to the side? Why you talking in your radio? What's that all about? So I'll move past that and just say, he didn't want to. He's like, what you need that for?
Well, I love it though. The cop goes, well, we ID everyone we come in contact with. And he goes, no, you don't. I love that he has it. No, you don't. Why you like, yeah, we do. It's what we do. No, it's not. And then she's like, that's bullshit. Like, listen, stop lying to people. We know by now. No, you don't. We know in the state, the people who are in the states that know that, you don't have the right to do that. They know they're there. Stop lying to people. It's not going to work anymore. They know now. Like, my God. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No problem. Hey, we work this thing together.
Yeah, right.
We reacting together. This is fine.
Okay. I got myself in check. Woosa. All right, Vonda. Woosa. I got me. All right. Ready.
Okay.
ID back.
No, not right now.
That's what
not right now. Now, show you my ID. I can't have it back. Not right now. Why? Because what you ran ain't came back yet? Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, let's see what else we got. Ugh.
To leave.
The agreement was that you would not violate the policies here. You slam the door in our face.
Marissa and Paya start packing while an officer.
Now, you slammed the door in my face. That is not any policy that has anything to do with it. You said turn it down. So now you're gonna say, "Oh, you slammed the door in my face. You're not supposed to violate any policy." Now, let's say he did slam the door. He probably is like a lot of people like, "This some bull," and slam the door. It's possible he did that because you don't know how people react. You're just not going to know, especially when it's an accusation and they don't understand it or they don't see why you're doing it. And I'll give you a quick story. Something that happened to me and I was in my 20s. So I feel for him. I don't care for you to, I'll just say accusation, because that's what it was. Me and my boyfriend, we were in the alley. That sounds funny, don't it? He was working on this car. I don't know what he was doing to it. And I was waiting for him to finish. And I'm sitting in the passenger side and I reached over. I think he asked me to do something. I don't know, turn something to key or whatever. I don't remember. And I accidentally hit the bright lights.
Right.
I think that's what he was doing. He was checking the signals. And I accidentally turned the bright lights on. And I really didn't know how to turn it off in that car. And I really didn't think about it. I didn't think about it anymore. I'm like, oh, and just kept on, and I waited. So these detectives had rolled past. So instead of them going about their business, mind their own business, they're going to do a no, they backed up because it was a one-way street, drove fast past down the alley where we were, pulled up beside me, and going to have an attitude. Is the lights bright enough for you? And my response was, no, it's not. Now, my 20-year-old self, or however old I was, that was my response. I didn't like how that guy approached me. And that was my response.
Mm-hmm.
But myself now, I know and understand that you can't do that nowadays.
Right.
You just cannot do that nowadays. So something can happen. That was in the 90s. So who knows what would happen? Well, we know what would probably happen now. So boyfriend, he's black male. So he already know, oh, we don't want no trouble. So he told him, oh, I got it. Don't worry about it. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know.
Right.
And me and the guy, we staring each other down. I never took my eyes off the guy. Because he was on the passenger seat, I'm in the passenger seat, and we both just stared each other down.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't blink. And that was my reaction. Again, doing for that today, I wouldn't have responded that way today. But back then, at that time, yeah.
Right.
So that's why I get a guy pass. He might have slammed the door because he didn't appreciate how the guy responded to him or approached him. Who knows? Because they don't show that in the thing. After the knock of the door, they didn't show that in this clip. Okay,
Right.
so now they're saying you got to go. Because you stared at you in my face. You didn't follow the policy. You got to go. Now, traveling. I'll be the first one to tell you. When I travel, I have my little, my stuff, and I put it out so I could see it. I put my little, and you have to put a little, you can't use the full size anymore. So I have my little 3 and 4 ounce little bottles, and okay, here's my soap, and here's my this, and I have my little stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
And they're telling them you got to go. So and now if they told me I had to go, I would have been like, I got to pack all this stuff up. Shoot, I got to put this. So I would have felt some kind of way, but because I was asked to leave, I'm going to leave. But let's see what else happens here.
All right.
Officer is told to get a riot gun.
I have 40 mil. Want to go grab one real quick? Yep.
A sergeant urges the couple to pack faster.
I'm asking you guys to hurry it up.
Then he encourages his team to use force.
Push up and tase this guy.
Marissa is seen trying to
All right. Push up and tase this guy.
Yep.
Now, you don't know how much and where these people come from that they have to pack up.
Mm-hmm.
And also, a lot of times you're thinking at the same time, like, okay, no, shoot, where we gonna go? Well, we gonna call. I ain't got that much money, or whatever their situation is. You're thinking. So
Right.
you're not running like it's a darn fire,
Mm-hmm.
but you're
Right.
packing. You want us to leave? Shoot, everybody in the hotel gives you a checkout time. They may say 12 noon
Mm-hmm.
or by 3 or whatever it is. You just telling these people now, get out. You got to go. This is a
Right.
surprise. So what, I got to run and just throw my stuff in here and get out of here? But they weren't going to let them go. Well, that guy, he had an attitude. He wasn't going to let them go. Going to ask about a riot gun. Go get that.
Right,
What is
like-
that going to do? That's not going to make them move any faster. You going to beat them down? Okay.
Oh no. My understanding was that force is only used when they fear for their life. right?
Oh.
Ain't that the conversation we just had the other day, where force
Oh.
is only used when they fear for their life? Did the cop sound fearful to you when he ordered the other guy to quote unquote push up on this guy and tase him because he wasn't packing
Hmm.
fast enough? Hmm.
Hmm.
It is real
Isn't that
scary when people
something?
don't pack fast enough for you. It
Oh
terrifies
yeah.
me. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, he didn't pack his underwear fast enough. Oh, I fear for my life. Go get that gun. Go get it.
Right? See how slowly
Ain't that
he
something?
he folded that sweater? That's terrifying. Tase him. Tase him. He's trying to kill us.
Yeah. Shoot. Them Calvin Kleins, he didn't fold them fast enough. Go get that riot gun. Hurry up.
Mm-hmm. Just
Then he go
saying.
get it. Push up on him.
Right.
Now he's training his team, or this is his team,
Mm-hmm.
and this is what they tell him. This is what he tells them to do.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's
Feared
play
for
a
his
little
life.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fearing.
Wonder if all
Okay.
this is alleged too. Anyway. Go
Oh,
ahead.
probably so. Oh yeah, we know that. Oh yeah. Oh
Mhm.
yeah, legend.
Intervene. According to the complaint, Kaya got stunned, shot with a riot gun, and struck multiple times with batons. He says he still has this red welt from the riot gun.
So the man, he came out to check on his girl, and they started tasing him. Now he didn't go after the guys or anything. Checking his
No.
woman.
Can we
Well, I guess
rewind a
maybe
little
she
bit?
should have picked better. Well, you think she should have picked better? You think
Oh,
that's gonna be the
definitely.
narrative? Oh, yeah,
100%.
that's probably the narrative. Okay.
Cause that had that happened so quick. Like, why? Like, I
It
know you
was.
said it and everything, right? But I thought they were at least gonna lie and be like, "Don't hit me" or something. You know how they like set it up for the cameras, or try to make it look good. He didn't even try to make it look
Right.
good.
Right. Drop your hands. Drop your gun. Hands up or anything or nothing.
Anything? No. No. This really was a Look at that, dude. That what was horrific. Okay, let's go. Oh my god, that was bad.
Yeah, it was. Okay, let's see here.
With batons. He says he still has.
Oh, you want to
red
go
welt
back
from
to the
riot gun,
woman,
and
right?
that Marissa was
Yeah,
hit
I
by
just want to see what
batons,
happened.
shot
Like,
by
how did?
projectiles.
Yeah, it was
According
fast.
to the complaint, Kaya got
Jesus.
stunned, shot with a riot gun, and struck multiple times with batons. He says
He went
still
straight
has
to
this red
her.
welt from the riot gun,
Straight
and that
to
Marissa
her.
was hit by batons and shot by projectiles.
I'm sorry. I gotta give it to her. She was fighting. She didn't like that.
Yeah.
Think about it. Regardless of what she would have done, they still was gonna attack her. It didn't matter.
No.
But my girl, she's like, what the? He come see about me and you gonna attack him? Oh no, let me. And she went after him.
Right. Hell no, you not. I promise you, you won't. I love when you hear people say, "I promise you, you won't. I promise you, I will." She one of those.
Okay.
Left with deep contusions.
If this is how the San Jose Police Department handles a noise complaint, you cannot imagine how they will handle severe or more serious, like, criminal offenses.
The couple is hoping for change within the entire force.
I want them to look at this and be like, oh, if it's something as simple as that, we'll handle it just as what it is.
The police department and city did not reply to on-camera requests, but the San Jose Police Department's newly appointed city attorney's office filed answers, saying the couple was combative and reached for a taser, saying each use of force was an appropriate, reasonable, and constitutionally permissible response.
Yeah, I know. We know. Yeah, we know it's constitutional. We know. Yeah, we know. We know. Now, as far as the woman, I don't know if she went to touch what the guy had. I don't know. But I know she had her hand up and she was talking to the man. Now that did happen. And then they started at her. They started at her. The man comes out to check on his woman. They're like, oh no, you can't help her. Let me give you some. Because that guy wanted to anyway.
Yeah.
He wanted to anyway.
Push up on him and tase him. This is what they wanted to do. It wasn't even like, give me a reason. Like, you don't have to give me a reason. They could have entirely complied. this is what was going to happen anyway. Because from the second he said, no, you don't, from the second he said that, he was going to get punished. No, you don't. I'm going to call you out on your bullshit. No, you don't. You don't check everyone's ID. No, you don't. You're targeting me. No, you are treating me unfairly. No, you're stereotyping me. No, you're racist. That's basically what that no, you don't, all of that said. And that cop said, oh, I'm about to give you a humbling today. Right? Like that's what it is. I'm gonna give you a humbling you will never forget. Next time you see a cop, you are gonna shiver in your boots. That's what they're thinking. That is, wow.
Ain't that something?
That's for a noise complaint. Sure, I can't even imagine a noise complaint. Like that's what, when you think about what they were called out for, a noise complaint.
Yeah. Ain't that
Really?
something?
I've had, like, so my building has security guards, right? And so people generally tend to call security, you know, for security to handle any little thing they think of. Now, this is the first time I've lived in like a condominium. I've lived in apartment buildings. So in apartment buildings, when someone's playing their TV too loud, you leave your house, you knock on the door, and you ask your neighbor to turn it down because your baby's sleeping or whatever it is, right?
Yes.
That's what I expect. So I had just set up a new sound system that had like a lot of bass in it, right? And so I guess the bass was reverberating through the walls. Like it wasn't the fact that the TV was loud itself, it was the bass. You know, so security came, knocked on the door and told me, and you know, I'm ignorant. So, you know, I'm going to sit there and tell you all about how you can't tell me what to do. But then once they go away, I'll fix it, right? And so I turned it down. I turned down the volume, right? Because I was just like, whatever, they're annoying, but fine. And then what happened? They came back. And that at that point, that's when I was like, I realized it was actually the bass itself, because the security guard actually came in both times. And he's like, did you turn down the TV when you heard me knock? And I'm like, no. And he's like, okay, well, it doesn't seem loud, but you know, it's going through the walls. Would you mind turning it down? Right. And that's what I was annoyed about. TV wasn't super loud. We weren't like blasting music or whatever. We were just like watching, like, I think it was America's Next Top Model or something, right? It wasn't a big thing. So, and that's when we figured out it's not the TV, it's the bass. So no matter how low we turn down the volume of music and stuff, the bass, every time anything happens, is going to go through the walls. So we actually ended up turning off the system after all of that. Now I'm thinking though, what if the police had been called? Now I'm going to get tased and humbled and end up on the hallway floor and whatever because my neighbor didn't like the bass from my new sound system that I didn't know was going to trouble them until I just found out right now. I'm going to get tased and humbled. Like, it's a noise complaint. That happens. Like,
and I need to see your ID for that?
Right.
No, like, you just got an attitude. You got a problem.
Thank you. It's not some wild party, you know. It's not. There's a bunch of drugs going around and stuff. You gotta, you know, or underage drunk hookers on the floor or something. You know what I mean? Like, right.
And see, they're gonna win something in this case because it's been going. It's been a year, so they're gonna get something. They're definitely going to get something. Because it's clear on tape. Oh yeah. Go get it, you know. Go get it. Okay, now push up on them. Yeah, get them. All of that. And I don't care any about that person that said, well, you know, reach for a taser. And yeah, they had the right to do so. Yeah. But everything before so, they had the right to do too. You're going to ignore that part. Oh, right. Okay, I got it. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Alleged. It's all alleged, Char. That's what you're missing. It's alleged.
Oh, right.
Because cops are innocent until proven innocent in a court of law.
Right. I got to wait until they proven innocent. Darn. What was I thinking?
Right.
Shoot, administrative leave, get paid. Yeah, I forgot about all of that. Yeah.
Right. Sometimes you just need a paid vacation in life, you know? They've earned it. They've worked very hard, you know, pushing up and tasing people who annoy them and aren't humble enough, right?
Right. Okay.
Got to give credit to Cenk Uygur, right? Disrespecting the cops is the worst crime you could commit in America. The end. You do not disrespect the cops. You could murder people. You could gun down an entire church of humans, especially if they're black, right? As long as you're respectful to the cops, they will buy you Burger King on the way to prison. It's gonna be fine.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Wow, special broils. Yeah.
It must be nice. Must be nice. You and I wouldn't know, and we never will, on account of the fact that we are melanined. So, yeah, melanined. We're melanated. So,
yeah,
is what it is. All right. So talk a little bit too. And now, you know what? Now I'm like, man, I wish I had found a case that proves that they're saying, you know what? Listen, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me just show y'all what I'm talking about to begin with. Oh, no. Don't do it. Because I didn't press audio.
Okay.
See how quickly I caught it this time, though? Trust me, next time I'm just going to do it automatically. It's going to be great. Proud of me. Okay.
Yes,
all right.
I'm proud of you. Yes.
Thank you. Okay, let's listen to this idiot now.
Okay.
All right, I got a good one for you today. Here's your headline. Woman falls out of car onto the highway while shooting a Snapchat video. I'll say that again for you. A woman in the UK fell out of her car doing a Snapchat. It wasn't even for a TikTok. Okay, so here are the details. This idiot was going 100 miles an hour in the UK on the highway. She's literally hanging out of her car, recording a Snapchat, wearing just a bra. And then while recording her Snapchat, she fell out of her own car onto the highway.
Oh.
Now, by some miracle, she did not die. And nobody else was hurt, which obviously is really good news. But she's basically a British chair girl, isn't she?
Uh-oh.
She's car. Should never risk your life for your Snap score. I shouldn't have to tell you that. And if you do get hurt doing a Snapchat, no one will feel bad for you. Like,
okay.
Mm-hmm.
All righty then.
Now, let's see the full thing of this idiot hanging out her window. So now I'm not sure what it is that about the video, if this is actually like the full video or if it cuts off. I don't know if she actually stopped recording before she fell or not. But what we got here is basically, this is the whole her spinning around in her car, right? Okay. So now what I think is amazing about this story, and it's what really aggravates me about this story, is that it's like she did nothing wrong. Because she didn't die, right? She did nothing wrong. So, indecent exposure, maybe? Even? No, just she did nothing wrong. In fact, you can see here, so this is the police now tweeting. Right? So you see that the front seat passenger was hanging out the car whilst filming a Snapchat video along the M25. She then fell out the car and into a live lane. It is only by luck she wasn't seriously injured or killed. Right? So now the police are sitting there saying, though, well, you know what? This was really dangerous and this was bad. This happened in London, right? But we were really concerned for her, and we're just happy that, you know, she only has a few nicks and bruises, probably because she was drunk off her ass, right? But now, a lot of users inquired. I mean, you can see there's a lot of response to this tweet, and they wanted to know whether the woman had been arrested. Now, according to Surrey police, there was no necessity to arrest. We can't just arrest people for fun. We don't have to have a necessity. No, sorry, we have to have a necessity, which we did not have for this. We knew who she was, where she lived. There will have been plenty of evidence, and no person or property was likely to be at any further risk, authorities replied. So, right, yeah,
They
no,
replied that. Okay.
Yep, you see that right here.
Okay.
So look at this. Just because no one was arrested does not mean action cannot be taken. But I suspect not many people are sat there thinking this sort of thing is a good idea, and those involved certainly learned a thing or two that night. Seriously. Yeah. And so asked if the police told the passengers about the errors of their ways, they responded, every chance they worked it out before we spoke to them about it. This is like, seriously, this like nothing, girls will be girls, like that kind of answer. According to a study published in the Journal of Family Medicine and Primary Care, approximately 259 people worldwide died while taking selfies between 2011 and 2017. It's almost 300 people. Last year, a 23-year-old woman was killed in a tragic hit-and-run accident after she went flying out a car window after yelling, "Bye, Miami!" from the right rear passenger window. So, no, I don't think anyone's learning anything. I mean, from what I can tell, and I need to get more information about this one case. Now, there was someone who fell out of a window, and then when they fell out of the window, they basically rolled under the wheels of the car that they were in and died. And then they charged the driver with vehicular manslaughter, amongst other things. And I was like, well, no offense or anything, but how come the person who hits her is going to get charged, but the person who endangered her life isn't going to get charged now? Right? So there's no indecent exposure, no, endangering lives, no anything, right? Like, and the thing is that people are actually outraged about this. They really are calling for her to be arrested. They want some charges to be put on her. Now, it doesn't really matter currently. I mean, people have suggestions what they think that the charges should be. So, for example, here's some Twitter responses. No arrests. How about wasting police time, causing danger to road users? Road Traffic Act 1988. Small beer, perhaps, but people need to be made aware of the consequences of their actions, suggested one user. Another one said, I would say, one, not wearing a seat belt. Because I'm positive I read a story once of a guy getting pulled over for not wearing a seatbelt, and he ended up dead on account of the fact that, again, he was black. So if you're a white girl not wearing your seatbelt, hanging out of your window, and then fall out of the car, endangering everybody on the highway, you get no charges. But okay. 2, after the event, being a pedestrian on the motorway. That's also illegal. 3, putting the lives of other road users in danger. 4, dangerous driving without due care and attention. 4, that's 4 reasons right there. Now, this can only be dealt with by summons. Slap the cuffs on the wrists, right? And then people were outraged about the fact that, I mean, these were road closures for a good period of time because of her. So people are saying, well, she should be sued basically, or ticketed and be made to pay for the closure, all the stuff that they had to do, I guess, to get the highway back up and running, right? Everyone's tax dollars are paying for that, and she's the one who caused it. So people are really not happy about this, and the police aren't going to move because, poor innocent white girl. I mean, look, if you noticed in this whole entire story, did you hear her name? She was not a child, for the record. Not a child, and yet her name was not released to the public because she was white. Yep.
Oh,
just saying.
So precious,
right? So you can put yourself on purpose. She put the video on live. She did that, so she made this a public information. but the police won't even release her name. But I've seen the police release countless names of young black children who are just adjacent to some situation that happened. They're not prime suspects. They're not even whatever. I've seen them release the names of victims. I've seen them release the names of potential suspects that end up not being charged with the crime because they're not guilty. But, you know, of course, that suspicion cast on them ruins their lives. I mean, I've seen them do this countless times, but they're going to protect this woman not only by not charging her, but by making sure that no one ever knows what her name is publicly, even though she did this for her 15 minutes or I guess 30 seconds of Snapchat fame. So.
Yeah, she want the attention. She want to be famous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She wrote, and apparently they were speeding too. She wrote something like 100. We're doing 110 kilometers on the highway. That's so 100 kilometers per hour is your speed limit on the highway. I can't remember exactly the equivalent, but like I think you guys are like 55 or 65 or something. So
yeah, both of those. Yeah.
Right. And so that's like 100 kilometers per hour here. So she said, we're doing 110 kilometers. So you are speeding on the highway, hanging out a window. I should stop this before I die. Oh, no. Sorry. 110. I need to stop doing this. 110 miles per hour. That's 177 kilometers per hour. I'm going to end up dead. That was what her thing was on Snapchat. So you're doing 110 miles per hour hanging out of a car window. So you're trying to tell me no one got charged for any of this. She admitted to the crimes. We know what all the crimes are.
Right.
A bunch of people just listed them, and neither the driver nor the passenger is going to get in trouble for any of this. Okay. Yep.
Okay. Must be nice.
Right? White privilege does not exist. I do not believe in white privilege. I do not believe in white privilege. I do not believe in white privilege. Okay. Yeah.
Click your heels 3 times now. 3 times. Click your heels.
Maybe you can do it fast and spin around. Might end up being true. Who knows? All right.
Well, this last one will speak for itself. I'm not even going to say anything on this one. I could. I just choose not to. I just want you to see it.
Okay. Look through my fingers. I'm scared. Oh, God. She used the word pop. Stop it. Stop it. She did. Well, they did send her to prison. I guess she got hard. She got hardened. She uses pop now. She'll pop 20 CBD gummies in a day and feel just fine. Boy, she's been working on that tolerance her whole damn life. Does she live in California?
I don't know.
Well, I hope she lives somewhere where stuff's legalized or decriminalized, or she's got her marijuana license or something, because man, they sent you to prison once. Once they sent you to prison once, they're okay sending you to prison over and over and over again, just so like she's clear. Like from the second they decided to send you to prison, they decided you are no longer part of the white protected elite, and therefore if you do something else, you give them a reason, they will put you in prison and splash it all over the news just to prove that they're not racist. So, all right, you keep popping them gummies. Party like a rock, party like a rock star, party like a rock, party like a rock star. That's Martha Stewart. Can I get high, high, high? Can I get high, high, high? Hi. She lives in an LSD den. Watch, you just walk in there, there's like lava lamps and like weird like lights on the ceilings and stuff. Only red bulbs and all the outlets, all the sockets. Too much. Oh, 20 a day feel just fine. And for the record, because I'll tell people, here's the thing. So when you're talking about cannabinoid oil, right? Cannabinoids and THC are 2 different things. Now, with that being said, it's very difficult to extract the cannabinoid oil without and not have any THC at all in it. But that being said, you can. So you can get 0% THC in anything that has a cannabinoid oil or CBD oil. So you can get 0% THC. You can. But what they say basically is that the THC and the CBD oil actually do work hand in hand. So for a better result, for all of those results that CBD oil helps with cancer and digestion and whatever, it's normally good to have at least a little bit of THC. But that means the THC in these things varies dramatically. Like it can go from being 0 THC to like crazy amounts, right? Because remember, it's all distilled and stuff. So unlike like say a joint where, you know, it's kind of pretty standard. You know, there might be a little bit of variation. It's kind of standard. When it comes to CBD oil, you can get sky high amounts, like 10 times the amount you would get from smoking a joint kind of thing, in just a few drops or in just one gummy. So, and actually the problem is with edibles is that while there are actually guidelines and regulations, nobody is actually testing the edibles. So
Really?
yeah, so when the edibles give you, like, the packaging will say I don't know, however many grams or whatever, right, on it, but nobody has actually tested that for consistency. And so you can get a couple batches of edibles that have nothing in it, and you can get a couple batches of edibles that have 5 times what you were expecting because it's not actually regulated and tested. And they actually did a whole documentary on it and stuff. I was watching it on Netflix and I was like, yeah, that's terrifying, because, you know, you think it's in a store, so it should be safe. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's true. So, I mean, I don't know, Martha, you keep popping them pills like a rock star and keep chewing on them gummies like a rock star and stuff. But, you know, all I can say for us normal people is be careful with that. Just because Martha Stewart's doing it, she's probably got her own personal gummy chef, right? Like, y'all just find them from the store. So just recognize they're not regulated. And, you know, if your friend's making it, your friend doesn't know how much they put in each individual gummy. They honestly don't. So, you know, just be careful with that stuff.
Yeah. One don't fit all. That's all I can say on that one.
Facts on that. Just because something is legal doesn't mean it's for you.
Yeah, everyone have a different reaction.
Exactly, right? Me and THC don't get along. I react very, very badly to I react like you've given me like several doses of like acid and mushrooms, and then something else that makes you really scared and paranoid, but like in a completely different way because you're actually feeling pain and stuff. I don't react well to THC. Very, very badly, right? So
okay.
And for some people, when they're doing sativas and stuff, man, that's the greatest day ever. To me, a sativa, like, that's the equivalent of ruining my whole entire like week. And I'll take like 2 pulls and I'll be high for 14 hours, and it's a very bad high for me. Like I'm an acid trip, like I swear to God, right? So everyone reacts differently. It doesn't have to be for you, you know, and it's okay if it's not. Just leave it alone. You'll be all right. Just, you know.
Yeah, spring water is nice. Red wine is kind of cool too, but spring water is really nice.
I like me my beer, right? Nice cold ice cold beer. An ice brewed ice cold beer. Yeah, exactly, right? To each their own. You know, enjoy your own, and regardless of what your own is, don't overdo it. Just you know, keep it classy.
Yeah, please do. Please do. Well, that was fun. Want to thank you all. The time kind of moved a little bit on us. Yeah, but I had fun. Do be careful out there. Save some money. Wear your mask, social distancing, and I'll play the Keep the Beat commercial on the way out. And hope to see you guys Wednesday.
Yes, please, and thank you. Looking forward to Wednesday. Hoping I see me on Wednesday. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, come check us out Wednesday. And until then, peace, y'all.
Cheers, y'all.
Join Char Willie and Classic Ruby for their radio show, Keep the Beat. They broadcast every Wednesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on CRBJ, Classic R&B Jams. There are discussions of the songs, and that can take you back down memory lane. If you missed the live broadcast, no worries. Replays are uploaded on Mixcloud. So, follow JustAskChar Advice channel on Mixcloud, and you will receive the notification when these broadcasts are uploaded.